Welcome back, movie lovers. Today, we're diving into a dark thriller where a reclusive hunter and a determined sheriff team up to track a brutal killer in the woods before he strikes again. The story begins with a forest ranger named Jack who is out in the jungle on patrol. He has no idea that today will be unforgettable for him. The next moment he is attacked from an unknown source. The attack was from an arrow, so he survived. But who was using an arrow in today's world? Why were they doing it? To find out, Jack took off his jacket and went forward with a gun. He removed his jacket to run faster. But a long time passed and he felt nothing. He saw nothing around him either. The attacker might have fled, or it could be a hunter. While these thoughts ran through his mind, another arrow came through the forest. This time it hit the upper part of his chest. He fell to the ground in pain. Jack tried to pull out the arrow, but it broke in the middle. He had to get out of this place immediately, or he could die from infection. He ran out of the forest where his car was parked, but his car wouldn't start. He had filled the tank that morning, so how did it fail? Was this the hunter's trick? He had no time to think about it. Blood was flowing fast, so he chose to walk. While walking, he saw a car in the bushes. It might belong to the unknown person who tried to kill him. He marked it and went home. In great pain, he pulled out the arrow. It looked very old, like arrows not made today. You might think Jack has always been an animal lover, but that's not true. He was once a hunter himself, known throughout the town. His daughter Alina didn't like this job, so he quit one day while returning with his daughter. He stopped to pick up some things. When he came back, his daughter had vanished. It's been 5 years. Even today, he puts up her missing posters. To cope with the grief, he turned to alcohol. It became so bad that his wife left him. Now he lives alone. He became a forest ranger for his daughter to save animals. As she wanted, he keeps a secret system in the jungle. With it, he monitors everything from home. On the other side, we meet the new sheriff, Elizabeth. She goes to the police chief, Carl, to free her brother, Crumb. Crumb was caught in an abandoned factory where he committed 2 crimes. Because of Elizabeth's position, he is released with a warning. On the way back, she asks her brother, did he kill anyone? He says no. In fact, he was attacked by a man at the factory because they found out whose brother he was. Elizabeth tells him to stay away from there. He doesn't reply. Meanwhile, she gets a call. A dead body was found by the river, so she heads to the scene. Jack's ex-wife visits him. She wants him to hold their daughter's funeral. She's pregnant again and doesn't want her future child affected by a sad past. But Jack refuses to sign the papers. He still believes his daughter is alive. When his wife sees he's still drunk, she leaves, saying the funeral's in 2 weeks. He can come if he wants. The scene shifts to the crime site. Police officers carefully examine a girl's body, but find no evidence to show how she was killed. Then they notice wound marks on her neck. They were old. It could be someone's revenge. They didn't search the surrounding areas, but found bloodstains. This meant she was injured for a long time and tried to stay alive but couldn't. There, Elizabeth saw a broken arrow on a stripped tree. She kept it for forensics at the station. Elizabeth examined it and saw a mark on it. It matched the arrow in Jack's chest that day. There might be a connection. News channels reported on the girl's identity. When Jack saw this, he thought it was his daughter. He rushed to the sheriff and asked to see the body. But when he lifted the cover, it wasn't her. This showed he still held hope in his heart that his daughter was alive. After this, Elizabeth asked the doctor about the girl. He told her the full story. Elizabeth felt terrible for her. The next morning, after much thought, Jack signed the funeral papers. This meant his daughter's funeral would happen. Meanwhile, he heard a warning alarm. Checking his camera, he saw a hunter chasing not an animal, but a girl. He grabbed his gun and a paint box. While you'll find out soon, he reached the spot of the first attack. The same thing happened again, but today he was prepared. He threw paint in the air and shot it. The paint spread everywhere. Now he could see the hunter covered in red paint, but he still couldn't catch him. Jack was furious because he had a good chance this time. Then he found the girl. The hunter was chasing her. She was injured with the same neck marks as the other girl. Jack picked her up and took her to a safe place. Elizabeth took the arrow to an expert who knew about such things. He said it was an Atlas arrow used in ancient wars, but now banned illegally. It could be deadly. One person still makes them known as Sam. Hearing this name, Elizabeth thought of her brother. The factory where he was caught was actually run by Sam, who did wrong things to young boys. So Elizabeth went to the factory, but Sam wasn't there. A girl named Patty secretly told her where to find him, but at that address he wasn't there either. Elizabeth found materials used to make Atlas arrows. Then someone entered the house. It was Sam's associate, who said another girl was reported missing. It was the same girl with Jack. Jack, tired from carrying her in the jungle, placed her in a safe spot. Then the girl attacked him. She thought he was the hunter trying to kill her. Jack explained she was safe with him. Though she didn't want to believe him, Jack slowly convinced her. They hid in a bunker he built in the jungle to catch hunters. For now, he hid there to protect her. He asked her name and how she got there. She didn't answer. Her vocal cords were cut. The hunter had taken her ability to speak, so she couldn't scream, making her an easy target. The same happened to the first girl. She ran for a long time but died in the end. Jack wouldn't let this happen again. With gestures, he reassured her she was safe. She understood and could breathe calmly. She wrote her name on the ground. It was Molly in the morning. Jack started walking back with her. Elizabeth got a lead. She didn't like it. Molly was last seen with a group, but she suspected Jack. He had taken Hunter's weapons and kept them. He seemed like a psycho. Maybe changed after his daughter's death. Jack reached home tired. He felt someone was there. He wasn't surprised. His suspicion was right. The hunter was in the house and attacked with arrows. Jack fought back but was tired and injured. He couldn't hold the hunter long. The hunter succeeded and stabbed an arrow into Molly's stomach, killing her. Seeing this, Jack broke down. He couldn't save her. But it didn't end there. Elizabeth arrived and saw Molly's body. Then Jack appeared with a gun in hand. It looked like Jack killed her, but the real twist came here. The hunter was standing behind her. He saw Elizabeth and bit his fingers. She realized it was her brother Crumb, whom she always saved. What would she do this time? She did what she always did. She shot Jack. Crumb escaped. Elizabeth fell into his trap and got injured. Jack realized she did this to save her brother. He called an ambulance via radio for Molly. She was still alive. He drove to his ex-wife's house. Her husband was in the police. Seeing Jack's condition, they were shocked. They couldn't take him to the hospital. So Carl stood outside the factory and called a doctor to a trailer. The doctor began treating Jack. Jack told him everything about the hunter. As he left the trailer, he saw Crumb with friends getting high. It was the perfect chance to catch him. Jack ran, but Crumb escaped into the trailer. He held a knife to the doctor's neck and threatened him, but Jack was alive. He grabbed Crumb's hand and freed the doctor. Carl finally arrested Crumb. When Carl learned this, he met his brother, hoping to free him again. But this time, Carl didn't thank him. He said Crumb confessed something, and Elizabeth's job might be at risk. Elizabeth worried Crumb took them to where he arrested Sam, the factory owner who had harmed Crumb. Crumb arrested him for revenge, but the hunter was someone else who fooled Elizabeth. Knowing this, they went to Sam and asked about the arrow. Did he make it? He denied it, saying he leaves no marks on his arrows. Was it someone else's work? They grew worried. They hadn't found the hunter. Jack changed his statement. Elizabeth's job was safe. Crumb didn't do it. Molly was safe too. After this, Jack decided to start a new life. He realized life is short and should be lived happily. He shouldn't waste it on alcohol. But the big question remained. Who was the hunter? Could anyone catch him? Jack went to a grocery store for supplies. He saw the truck he marked earlier. He saw Hope and got closer, but the mark was gone. Disappointed, he returned to his car. Then another truck passed by. It had the mark. This time it was certain. He waited to confront the driver. An old man stepped out. Jack asked if he had a son. The man said no. He lived alone and owned the truck. So Jack lied. He said the driver helped him once and he wanted to thank him. The old man said, "Sometimes my neighbor borrows this truck." Hearing this, Jack went to the neighbor's house. No one was home. He broke the lock and entered. From the items inside, he knew it was the hunter's house. It got worse. In the basement, he found missing posters of many girls. In a corner was his daughter's poster. Further ahead was an operating room. A girl was there with her vocal cords removed. Now Jack was sure the owner of this house was the culprit, but before he could think more, He was attacked. The attacker was the doctor. Carl called to treat Jack in the trailer. Yes, this was the story's villain. The scene shifts to Elizabeth, who visited Molly. Molly was being treated by Dr. Boom, who wasn't there. Elizabeth saw a photo of the doctor and his daughter. The nurse said years ago his daughter was killed by a drunk driver. Her name was Melissa. Boom meant MB, the mark on the arrows from the start. Seeing this, Jack's mind opened. He rushed to the doctor's house. The doctor wasn't there, but the items confirmed what was happening. Elizabeth went to Jack's house to tell him his daughter's killer was found. He wasn't there, but was being hunted. She saw this on his home monitor. Could Jack be hunted? No one knew the forest better than him. He had traps everywhere and the doctor got caught in one. Before the doctor could act, Jack killed him and disfigured him. But before killing him, Jack asked why he killed his daughter. The doctor gave a strange answer beyond understanding. He said his father was a drunk and he hated drinkers. A drunk driver killed his daughter, so he took revenge on all drinkers. Hearing this, Jack killed him completely. Then Elizabeth arrived. She told him to turn the doctor over to the police. But Jack knew the police would do nothing. He had to punish him, so he threw him into a trench. Ending the story, Elizabeth could do nothing. Perhaps she knew such people deserved this. Jack removed his daughter's posters from town. He held her funeral. Elizabeth shut down the factory to protect young people like her brother from ruin. With this, the story ends. How did you like the story? Tell us in the comments. See you in the next video.